Okay, so let's do this one, investigating a potentially unwanted program with Velociraptor. So we need a Windows machine to infect, and we got one here. So I'm going to install the pup. By the way, first I need to make sure Windows Defender is not going to stop my malware. Now, I think that's already been done on this machine, but I'm going to check it. I want to get to virus and threat protection, and you can just search for virus and find virus and threat protection. And okay, I want to turn off tamper protection and exclude the C drive. That's all. And so settings. Okay, real-time protection doesn't really matter. And if you turn it off, it'll come back on. Tamper protection is off. And now I can do exclusions. You can add an exclusion. And right now I have C shell bind as an exclusion. I want to actually exclude the whole C drive. So a folder, and that's going to be this PC. C, there we are. Now the whole C drive is excluded from virus scanning, and that's what I want. So this defense won't get in the way of my fake malware. Also, I said turn a cloud-driven automatic sample submission. I don't think I need to. We're going to see what happens. So now I have to download this file. There it comes. All right. So now I want to extract it. I go into the folder where it lives, right-click, extract all, extract. It's got a password of malware, which is the common password you use for malware samples so people don't accidentally get infected. This stuff, it doesn't spread or anything. It's just going to make a box pop up on the screen is all it's going to do. It's not anything to be afraid of, but you don't want to be putting it on machines you love and stuff. So then, okay, then I want to run pup4.exe as administrator. And I like to see my file name extensions. It should be here. View, show, extensions. There we are. Now I can see pup.exe. So I run this as administrator. And it's going to say I don't like the look of this. I have to say run anyway. Approve. Okay, so it's run that as administrator. And now take pup4 message and put it in the root of C. So this goes here. And I have to give it administrator privileges to do that. Okay, there we are. Now delete all of this stuff and empty the recycle bin. Okay, and now restart the Windows machine. Which I'm not quite sure what happens when you restart a machine from a remote desktop session, if you even can. I assume I'll lose access to it. All right. Yep, but that's all right. Yep, there it's restarting. I can see it. Yep, hopefully it's not gonna, oh good, it didn't put on a bunch of updates or anything. I think it came up pretty fast. There we go. Good. Okay, all right, so I'm in and there we go. Various processes are launching and hopefully one of them will be my malicious process. Yes, now it asks about running it. I'm going to say run and don't ask. There, this is what's going to happen. And the point of this is to imitate a simple kind of malware, like the kind that makes ads appear on your screen. It's popping up this annoying box. And so the idea is, can we, from the remote Velociraptor server, diagnose this problem and figure out how to fix it. This is all you know is this box pops up saying your machine is pwned by double bad. So shrink that down. And now we're going to investigate this from the Velociraptor server. So we're already connected to this client. We're here. We've done that before. And if you want to check, you can do show all, and then you see your clients here. And here's my Windows 11. When you click the client ID, you get to here where you can go to collected, and now you can run scripts to harvest data from that machine. So I'm going to first do auto runs. Auto runs is a sysinternals product, and therefore now a Microsoft product, and it installs and it finds everything that's going to automatically launch, because the thing I know about this stuff is that box keeps popping up after a restart. So whatever that it is, it's apparently automatically running. So I want Windows sysinternals auto runs. And I think I don't need to configure any parameters. I think I can just run it the way it is. Yep. You can configure parameters and change things, but if the default operation is good enough, you just launch. You click on that up here, and now down here, you can see the log of what it does here. So it started execution, removing a temp file, sleeping 15 seconds. It's still running. So it's waited for something. I'm not sure what for, but okay, now it has done something. Fetching. Now fetching means getting data from the client. So it's getting a list of things that automatically launched and loading it up here. And waiting for rows. Okay, so it looks like it's getting a lot of data from the client. And as we're going to see, that is true. Okay, it's done. And now that it's done, I can go to results. And don't see results. What happened here? Here's the log. Hash of get query stats. Row scan 3. A connection attempt failed. That's disturbing. It did not succeed in getting the data from the client. Well, this is rude. I wonder, I shouldn't have a firewall issue or anything. Well, I was supposed to get like 1,400 rows of stuff. I'm just going to try running it again, although I'm skeptical if it doesn't work the first time, it won't work the second time. Oh, I think I know what's going on. There is one issue, which is that I'm on an ARM processor. And it could be that it needs the ARM version of auto runs, but I don't think so. 'Cause I think I tried it before on this ARM machine, and I didn't have this problem. So I wonder, yep, I should get like 1,400 lines from the machine, but maybe something's wrong. It doesn't look like a networking problem. URL for auto runs C64 is here, fetching something. So it's installing auto runs. Okay, it's running it. Okay. Now it's getting an error. 121, 139. What is this 121, 139 garbage? It seems to think my machine has that IP address, which I think it does not. I don't think I could connect to it if it had an IP address like that. It's bridged. So that's interesting. Somehow it has gotten the wrong IP address of my local machine. I'm just sort of interested in how that could happen. Let's try ipconfig. Windows sys interfaces. Information about the interfaces. That's what I want. Somehow my script there seems to have the wrong IP address. The machine is 031, but it was trying to connect to some other location. So that's some kind of weird defect. And it makes me wonder if the fact that I've run these things previously in this machine in another configuration has kind of messed them up. So starting with a clean Windows machine would probably be a way to get around that. I'm going to skip it anyway. You should get a long list of things that automatically launch, and then you can open it in a text editor or spreadsheet and find the one that launches this thing called pup4 message. Anyway, that's annoying. That's one way to do it. Now, there's another way would be to see the currently running processes. Let's see if I can do that. PS list, Windows PS list. This is another way to find out what's making that box pop up, is to get a list of the currently running processes. And I want to see if this, now I get results. See, now I see things that are running. And here's the EXEs. Okay, and now I got 151 of these. So I can show you a similar process. So I have a list of things that are running. Now, 151 in this interface is pretty clumsy, but notice I have Authenticode. This is going to help us. So I'm going to download it in a better format. I'm going to download CSV. And there it is. So now I can open that CSV. If I can figure out where it is, here it is in my downloads folder. Double click that and that'll launch it in a spreadsheet. I think, yeah. And now in a spreadsheet, I should be able to sort it and do other useful things. Here's the command line, and see if I can change the width of this. There we are. This is what I want to do. I don't need to see all the content of these boxes. I want to see the Authenticode information. Here it is. Here's Authenticode. This gives me the name of what company owned it. And I think some of them are going to have nothing there. Well, looks like they don't. But anyway, what I may not be able to demonstrate this as well as I wanted to either, but if you can see the signature, you can find the unsigned files. The Authenticode is a little less useful than I hoped it would be, but if I have the publisher issuer name would be pretty good. The ones that don't have an issuer name just have a hash value, and those are the suspicious ones. So if I sort by column I, that would probably do it. Let me select all the data and sort by, organize, sort entire table by Authenticode, which is hash username, or right, what's going on here? Oh, here's the hash. Oh, I see. Its username seems to be the field I want. There's, oh no, the headers seem to be fouled up. Come on, it looks like the import had some kind of problem. Okay, this is the Authenticode. I'm going to change this name. Auth. That's what I want to sort by, and that one is in fact empty. This is what I wanted to show you. These things are signed by a reputable publisher like Microsoft. The ones that are not signed are the suspicious ones. So sorting by the auth column is what I want to do. There we go. So the ones that have some data in the auth column are pretty much harmless. They're signed by some company and they're probably not malware. There is some signed malware, but it's not very common. The ones without signatures are more likely to be the malware. And so I don't need to read through all 150 of these. There's really only a few that aren't signed. In fact, it looks like it's only 3 that aren't signed. And however, I'm not seeing the executable here. So here's the command line. All right. And so I know the one I want is cpup4message.exe. And I was hoping to show you how to find it. But here I am having trouble even finding it myself. So, you know, this demo is not working out that well either. Let me try Control F and look for pup. Okay, there it is, pup4 message. And it does seem to be signed by somebody, which is a surprise to me. Let's see what it has here. Oh, okay, I'd have to look for this. It is program name null, publisher link null, and so on. Okay, so it has a fake signature, which is kind of annoying. So if I had put this out, I'd look for things that don't have a real issuer name. Anyway, I'm just showing that's another way you could see which process is suspicious. And it'd be a similar thing if I had the auto runs list. I'd be looking through 1,400 things that are automatically launched, and I'd be finding the one that is not actually signed by a reputable publisher, and therefore the one that is suspicious. And that's how I would get the name of the process, pup4message.exe. So now, in the PS list I just did, you can find the MD5 hash of it. We saw the hashes were there. So you could get the hash of the process, and that's useful because you can just send that to VirusTotal, and it'll tell you if it's known malware. All right. And also it's useful if you decide that this is something that indicates malware, then searching for files with this hash value is often what you do to detect it. Process memory. I think this one did work. I'm going to try it again. I think I got this to work. We're going to do process dump and see if it can be done. I need to find, let's bring back this spreadsheet and find the process ID of the pup process. So it is Control F, pup. Okay, I think this, one of these numbers here is going to be the process ID. Let's go up and see. Process ID is the first number. Okay. So 188 is the process ID. That's what I'm going to need. Now I can harvest the memory of this 188 with process dump. So process dump. Okay. Now I'm going to configure parameters here. And I'm going to do the process ID 188. And I could also go by the process name, by the way, and that might even be a better way to do it. I'll just use processes that have pup in their name. That will do it even easier than knowing the process ID. That should find only one process. So let's launch that and see if it works. I click on it, I go to the log, and I'll see if anything good is happening. Okay, process dump. It's done. It did something. It found the file. It created a dump file. It should have uploaded it to this server, and it did. So there's the file. I can now download this file and inspect it with any tool I like. So I'm going to download it here, and I could inspect it with a variety of tools. There's a Linux strings command I could use. On this machine, this is a Mac, and I have a hex editor I can use. I can open it with hexfiend, a free utility that just lets you see files in their raw hex form. And now if I want to know if this says owned by Double Bad, I could search for that string. So edit, find, and that appears up here. Okay, so I'm looking for the string pwned. And so if I search for that, enter, yeah. I'm not seeing where it would tell me whether it found it. But anyway, I think I'm going to have to tell it that I want to find it in Microsoft 16-bit code. So these 16-bit letters, see how these letters are spaced out? The P is followed by a null and 61 by a null and so on. So that's what you'll find here. There's going to be a null in between each one. And in other ESC editors, there is a way to control whether you look for 16-bit Unicode or 32-bit Unicode, but I'm not finding that here. So I guess maybe this is not the best tool for the purpose. Wait, hex and text. Hex. Ah, good. This is good. So here's the text pwned. Go to hex. There we go. Now I just need to put in the null bytes. There we go. That's what pwned will look like in Microsoft 16-bit Unicode. So find, enter to find. Yep, there we are. Your machine is pwned. And I think we'll find another one. Pwned by double bad. That's what I wanted to shoot. The point of this is you use auto runs and running processes to find a suspicious looking process, but you don't know that that process is making that box. So you look at the memory of the running process for the text you can see, and that proves that this is the malicious process making that box pop up. All right. And now now the next question is, are there more files on the box that are involved in this attack? So we can use Yara. Incident responders always talk about Yara. Yara is extremely simple. It's really nothing more than grep. So you can look in it for things that contain the word pwned to see if that would be a clue that they're involved in this process. So it's Windows search Yara. There it is. And I configure parameters. And here you see the rule to look for things. And so I want it to be wide characters. I don't care about case, and it's going to be pwned. And the way it's going to run now, it'll look for EXEs or texts or DILs or PHPs. But the only thing I want to look for is EXEs, because this is going to have to search the entire hard drive. It's going to be kind of slow. So I think this will work. This will find anything that contains the word pwned if it's an executable file. Let's see if this runs without taking forever. So I go to the log, I can see, okay, here it goes. And now what it's doing, it's scanning the whole hard drive using direct NTFS access to the files. And that's why it has these paths starting at // And so it's going to have a lot of data coming back, or at least it's going to do a lot of scanning, but it's not going to have a lot of data results. So I'll show 50 at a time. This is showing you a lot of files it scans. And we're already up to 76 rows of these messages, and it's done. Good. So now that it's done, I can just see the results here. And the results are there is only one file on the whole box that has that string, and it's the one we already know about. So now we've determined that there are no other files associated with the attack anywhere. This is the only file. And I think now we know enough to do remediation. So remediation is just these three things. It's kill the running task, delete the registry key that's making it come back, and delete the executable that it runs. And there is a option in Velociraptor to open like an administrator PowerShell and execute commands on the endpoint, but a lot of them don't seem to work. And I believe this is actually an argument, an issue arguing in the Velociraptor development community. If they gave it the power to run arbitrary commands on the clients, then Velociraptor itself would be essentially malware, giving people could use it for malicious purposes. And they don't want that, so they're trying to limit it. So the only way to actually remediate is to open an elevated command prompt on the box and execute these commands. All right. And by the way, there's probably some, auto runs. Auto runs is what would have told us this. Auto runs is the one that failed. Auto runs would have told us about this registry keys location, that's why it was running. And that's the one that didn't work on this box for some reason. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you about this. I'm going to stop this video.